In 2002, Brazil arrived at the World Cup as underdogs, carrying the weight of a humiliating failure 4 years prior. But what nobody expected was that 3 Brazilian magicians were about to put on the greatest attacking display the World Cup had ever seen, with Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Rivaldo terrorizing the 2002 World Cup. And this is the story of how they did it. July 12, 1998. The Stade de France in Paris. Brazil, the favorites, were about to face France in the World Cup final. But just hours before kickoff, something went horribly wrong. Ronaldo, the best player in the world, suffered a mysterious seizure in his hotel room. Chaos erupted. He was initially left off the team sheet, then suddenly reinstated at the last minute. What followed was a disaster. Brazil lost 3-0, and Ronaldo looked like a ghost of himself on the pitch. The controversy and questions surrounding that night would haunt Brazilian football for years. Brazil's reputation as world champions was shattered, but the pain didn't stop there. The 4 years between 1998 and 2002 became a nightmare. Brazil struggled in friendlies and, for the first time ever, defending champions had to go through World Cup qualifying. They barely scraped through, finishing behind Argentina in the South American group. Meanwhile, each of the 3 Rs was fighting their own battle. Ronaldo's career seemed over. In 1999, he suffered a catastrophic knee injury. Then, just 5 minutes into his comeback in 2000, the same knee exploded again. Doctors questioned if he'd ever play again, let alone return to his former level. The phenomenon was broken. Rivaldo was carrying Barcelona on his back, winning the Ballon d'Or in 1999, but he was underrated internationally, seen as a club player who couldn't deliver when it mattered most for Brazil. And then there was Ronaldinho, a 22-year-old exciting talent at PSG, full of tricks and flicks, but largely unproven on the biggest stage. He was flashy, but could he handle the pressure? Heading into 2002, nobody believed in Brazil. The expectations were rock bottom. The golden generation had failed. But what the world didn't know was that these 3 Brazilians were about to write the greatest redemption story football had ever seen. In 2001, Brazil made a crucial decision. They appointed Luiz Felipe Scolari, known as Felipão, as their new manager. Scolari was a no-nonsense tactician who understood one thing perfectly: Brazil's path to redemption would be built on attack. He made a bold choice to construct his entire system around 3 players: Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho. The 3 Rs were about to become Brazil's salvation. First, there was Ronaldo. At 25 years old, the phenomenon was attempting the impossible, returning from injuries that should have ended his career. He'd spent 2 years in hell, but now he was fighting to prove he was still the deadliest striker on the planet. The hunger in his eyes was undeniable. Then came Rivaldo, the experienced 30-year-old leader. Fresh off his 1999 Ballon d'Or, he was Barcelona's talisman, a complete attacker who could score from anywhere. He'd carry the weight of expectation, the bridge between Brazil's past glory and their uncertain future. And finally, Ronaldinho. Just 22 years old, he was the wild card. Playing at PSG, he had all the skill in the world, capable of moments of pure magic. But the questions remained. Could he be consistent? Could he handle the pressure when it mattered most? Scolari's tactical setup was genius. He deployed a 3-4-1-2 formation with Roberto Carlos and Cafu bombing forward as wingbacks, while Lucio anchored the defense. This gave the 3 Rs complete freedom to terrorize opponents. Ronaldo led the line as the finisher, Rivaldo operated as the creative second striker, and Ronaldinho floated behind them, pulling strings and creating chaos. In pre-tournament friendlies, the chemistry started to click. Their styles were perfectly complementary, but one question haunted everyone. Could these 3 broken stars restore Brazil's pride? The world was watching, and the pressure was immense. It was time to deliver. June 3rd, 2002, Brazil versus Turkey, the opening match. In the 50th minute, Ronaldo received the ball in the box, turned, and fired it into the net. The phenomenon had returned. After years of injury, hell, doubts, and pain, Ronaldo scored the winner in his World Cup comeback. The emotion was overwhelming. This wasn't just a goal, it was a declaration. 4 days later against China, the floodgates exploded open. Brazil won 4-0, and for the first time, all 3 Rs got on the score sheet. Ronaldo's movement in the box was terrifying, ghosting past defenders. finding space where none existed. Rivaldo showcased his versatility, scoring from distance with power and precision. And Ronaldinho? Pure unpredictability. Every touch brought danger, every dribble left defenders grasping at air. Then came Costa Rica. Brazil demolished them 5-2. Ronaldo and Rivaldo were running riot, combining for multiple goals while Ronaldinho orchestrated the chaos with his creativity. The world was starting to take notice. This wasn't just three talented players, this was something special. Comparisons began flying. Pelé, Garrincha, and Vava from 1962. Could this trio match that legendary standard? The round of 16 against Belgium confirmed it. Rivaldo scored an absolute screamer, a thunderous strike that left the goalkeeper helpless. Ronaldo added another to his tally, his scoring streak continuing to build. Brazil won 2-0 and the statement was complete. What made this trio so deadly was the perfect balance. Ronaldo was the clinical finisher, a predator who punished every mistake. Rivaldo was the versatile weapon, capable of scoring from anywhere, long range or close up. Ronaldinho was the chaos agent, the magician whose creativity unlocked defenses and created opportunities out of nothing. Brazil were building unstoppable momentum. The three R's were clicking like never before, and the rest of the world was starting to panic. The underdogs were becoming favorites. June 21st, 2002, Shizuoka, Japan. Brazil versus England in the quarterfinals. This was the match that would define everything. Rivaldo struck first, giving Brazil an early lead, but Michael Owen equalized, and suddenly the dream was in jeopardy. England, one of the tournament favorites, were pushing hard. Then, in the 50th minute, magic happened. Ronaldinho stood over a free kick, 40 yards from goal. What happened next is still debated to this day. He struck the ball with the outside of his boot, and it sailed over David Seaman's head, dipping perfectly into the net. Was it a shot? Was it a cross? Ronaldinho would later say he meant it, and whether you believe him or not, it was one of the most memorable World Cup goals ever scored. But the drama wasn't over. Just 5 minutes later, Ronaldinho was sent off for a foul, leaving Brazil to defend with 10 men for nearly 40 minutes. They held on, barely. The significance was massive. Brazil had beaten England, eliminated a tournament favorite, and proven they could win even when everything went wrong. The semifinal against Turkey was different. This was revenge. Turkey had beaten Brazil in the group stage, and now it was personal. The match was tense, defensive, a grinding battle. Then Ronaldo delivered. One clinical finish in the 49th minute was all Brazil needed. Turkey couldn't break through. When the three R's couldn't unlock the defense, Brazil showed something else: resilience, adaptability, defensive discipline. The world was now witnessing something special. The statistics were piling up: goals, assists, chances created. Ronaldo was on a scoring tear, Rivaldo was orchestrating from deep, and Ronaldinho had just produced a moment of pure genius. Brazil were one game away from redemption, one game away from erasing the nightmare of 1998, one game away from glory. The final awaited. June 30th, 2002, Yokohama, Japan. The World Cup final, Brazil versus Germany. Exactly 4 years after the nightmare in Paris, Brazil had returned to the biggest stage in world football. And leading them was Ronaldo, the man who had suffered a seizure before the 1998 final, the man who had his knee destroyed twice, the man the world said would never be the same. This was his moment. The first half was tense. Germany's Oliver Kahn, the tournament's best goalkeeper, was keeping Brazil at bay, making save after save. But in the 67th minute, everything changed. Rivaldo unleashed a shot. Kahn, who had been flawless all tournament, made a rare mistake, spilling the ball. And there was Ronaldo, right place, right time, tapping it in. Redemption had begun. 12 minutes later, Ronaldo struck again. The German defense was in shambles as he collected the ball, rounded Kahn, and slotted it home with his weaker left foot. His legacy was sealed. The final whistle blew. Brazil were 5-time World Cup champions. The emotion was overwhelming. Ronaldo collapsed in tears, years of pain, doubt, and struggle pouring out. Rivaldo, the leader, embraced his teammates, pride etched across his face. Even Ronaldinho, suspended and watching from the stands, celebrated with pure joy his contributions hadn't been forgotten. The numbers told the story. Ronaldo finished with 8 goals, winning the Golden Boot. Rivaldo added 5 crucial goals. Ronaldinho had 2 goals, but countless assists and magical moments. Combined, the three R's had scored 15 goals and completely dominated the tournament. This trio rewrote World Cup history. They restored Brazil's dynasty after years of humiliation. They proved that redemption was possible, that broken stars could shine brighter than ever. In just 1 month, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Rivaldo had become immortal. They had broken the World Cup forever. After 2002, the three R's went their separate ways. Ronaldo continued at Real Madrid, winning more trophies and cementing his place among the greatest strikers ever, but injuries eventually caught up with him. Rivaldo kept playing into his 40s across multiple continents, a journeyman who never quite got the recognition he deserved despite his brilliance. And Ronaldinho? He became the world's best player at Barcelona from 2004 to 2006, winning the Ballon d'Or in 2005 and creating his own legendary partnerships with Messi. Unlike club trios like MSN who had years together, the three R's never played at the same club. They only had one World Cup, 1 month to write their story. But what a month it was! They inspired an entire generation and restored Brazil's identity as Joga Bonito, the beautiful game. The 2002 triumph reminded the world what Brazilian football was truly about. If you want to see more videos about legendary football topics, hit that subscribe button and check out the video on screen for more.